You're watching Viva La David. We all watch him because he's a hot mess. What will he say next? What will he talk about? Tune in and subscribe, or he will cuss you out.
Yes, divas, I am David Allen Singletary, and this is the vivaladavidshow. I first want to start off by thanking you guys so much for all of your views on the first two videos. All of your tweets and messages have been so overwhelming, and I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for the support. You guys are amazing. I'm coming to you tonight with a segment that I'm going to be doing called the Hollywood Hullabaloo. Basically what this is a celebrity gossip segment. I'm going to take all the gossip that happened through the week and put this video up hopefully every weekend. I'm a busy girl. Hopefully every weekend so that you guys can kick back and have your international coffee moment with me and watch the Hollywood Hullabaloo. So let's get right into it with something positive because, it's only going downhill from here. Let's be honest, I'm obviously not highbrow, and I'm fine with that. So let's start right in with lowbrow, and that is True Blood. Honey, I don't know if you guys are watching True Blood, but there are more cakes than a corner bakery, honey. Get into it, Jason Stackhouse, Lafayette. Woo, the man, girl, the mins. But that's not what this is about. This is because Suki and Vampire Bill, aka Anna Paquin, and I don't know how you got the job because you're old and not really hot, but whatever, they got married this week. And in real life. So actually, congratulations. Honey, her rock. Honey, she got a rock. You better get it, Anna Paquin. Apparently, True Blood is paying very well. So, I'm really excited. Have a great honeymoon. Just bite each other. I hope your marriage really sucks. Speaking of really sucks, the situation. I admit I'm part of the problem. I'm not part of the solution. I tried to stay away from Jersey Shore. I did. But, honey, it's like a train wreck. Snooki, how can you not love it? That bump it? She says it's not a bump it, but I don't believe it. I don't believe that that is not artificial in some way or capacity. Anyway, the situation we found out this week is worth, wait for it, $5 million. $5 million. And more baffling than the fact that he's worth $5 million, I think, is the fact that he's like the least attractive one of them. I mean, I'm gonna say it. Honey, he is one tanning session away from looking like an old purse. You look like assless chaps, sir. That's what you look like, assless chaps. And yet, the moral of the story is that here in America, if you have a washboard abs, you can be famous. Case in point, The Situation, and my husband, Taylor Lautner. That's right. Taylor Lautner is my husband. I snatched him from the sandbox and put him in my bed, and he's never been happier. I need abs. Anyway, so moving on to another person with money and abs is Madonna. Madonna was recently offered $1 billion, $1 billion, recession be damned, to perform for 5 years in Vegas. What does this mean? Essentially, this means that Madonna shat on Celine Dion's front yard. Yes, she did. She basically went over, knocked on the door, said, "Hello, Celine. Hello, Renee," and then she dropped chow and shat on her front yard. $1 billion, and before you queens come for me, I love Madonna, I do. Madudu, Maduki, Madouche, I love her. I mean, her arms are disgusting, I'm gonna be honest, they are. Like, I feel like her arms are filing for divorce, this relationship really isn't working for them, but I feel like, I guess if you're gonna pay anyone $1 billion, it would be Madonna. Congratulations, Madonna, everyone has more money than me, and abs. Forget it. You know who doesn't have abs? Is Mariah Carey. Now, Mariah Carey, there's all this speculation, not that she's crazy, we know she's crazy as cat shit, but you can't talk about her, honey, she could win talent night at any insane asylum. But there's all this speculation that she's pregnant, to which I say, girl, just drop it, just tell us, we don't care that much, girl, it's not like we're waiting with bated breath, I can't sleep, is she pregnant? Because we've said it before, we've been like, oh, Mariah's pregnant, she has to be pregnant, and she's like, no, girl, I just ate some cakes and pies, because her weight fluctuates. So anyway, apparently this time she really might be pregnant. And she also might be putting out a Christmas album. I'm not gonna lie, I'm more excited about the album than the pregnancy, only because her baby's gonna come out singing high notes and making bad jokes, Nick Cannon. Ooh. What a mess. And I would love a Christmas album. Other divas who are putting out an album is Kelly Rowland. Kelly Rowland is putting out 2 albums. Thank you, Beyonce. The reason I say this is because in my head, I feel like Beyonce, has Kelly and Michelle, like, chained up downstairs in, like, a basement somewhere, like, brushing out her wigs or something. So I really am like, that's a generous bitch when she lets Kelly make an appearance. Or Michelle do Broadway badly. I love you, Michelle, but you were awful. So thank you, Beyonce, for allowing her to do an album, even though Kelly is putting out 2 albums, one here and one in the UK, where she's more famous. Again, you're so generous, Beyonce. You let her have all of the UK. Well, not all, but apparently she sent all of her dance beats to the UK. We like to dance, Kelly. I mean, usually we're dancing to Beyonce, so never mind. Okay, it makes sense. Whatever, I'm not going to complain. Also usurping your, albumness and your excitement is Fantasia. Tasha May. Honey, let me get into it. Now, again, queens, don't. Because I love Fantasia. My Broadway community, she is putting I'm Here from The Color Purple on that album. So, good for you, girl. Good for you. We love you. But what I don't love is that, honey, she was creeping with this married man, which you're not the first. You're not the first, girl. Don't act like you're so original. You're not. And she decided that was just so all in her mind, and she was just so distraught, girl, that she had to take a bottle of Tylenol and end up in the hospital for suicide, leaving her children and her, country bumpkin family. No judgment. Mine's pretty country, too, but I love them. So leaving them and all these things, freaking me out, having me Google, the effects of Tylenol on the voice. Don't ruin your instrument. Anyway, had me doing that, and then you get out, and the next day you're at your married man's house with the TV cameras for your reality show. Isn't that girl? What a mess. What a mess! Worrying your fans. The gays love you, girl. The gays love you. I would have watched your show anyway, because for years you have mesmerized me with those lips. They're so shiny. There's so much sheen. I suspect it's Mop and Glow. But, shh. I don't want to give away your secrets. Anyway, so the gays love you. Stop the badness, girl. Frenchie said it best. Shout out to Frenchie Davis, girl. The diva. Frenchie said it best. she didn't mention Fantasia's name, but, if you are just getting out of the hospital for suicide, shouldn't you be in some kind of mental, ward, kind of working that out next to Lindsay Lohan? Like, you shouldn't be, on a publicity junket. I don't know. I love you, Tasia. Take care of yourself, girl. I don't want to have to be Googling any more about you. Cause, the gays, we do that. Speaking of the gays, David Archuleta of American Idol fame, yeah, I forgot him too, is doing a memoir. To which I say, a memoir? What are you remembering? Infancy? Being an embryo? Oh, what are you remembering? I personally hope, and you saw the smile come on my face before I even said this, I personally hope that it's called David Archuleta BC. The BC standing not for before Christ, even though, he was born yesterday, so not possible. I hope that it's David Archuleta BC before closet. Come out, you're gay. Anyway, also in other gay news, I don't know if you guys are gleeks. I'm a gleek. Those are my boo-boos. I love you. I love you. I love you. So I'm totally a gleek. I love it. I mean, it kind of, whatever. So in other news, Kurt or Chris Colfer from Glee, the really gay one, gay face. I love you, Chris, but you... girl, is going to be getting a new boyfriend. And the new boyfriend, in rumor, is going to be Cord Overstreet from iCarly fame. And he's going to be like the high school jock and all that stuff, which I think is good because, we're only getting one side of the gay. Because, there's that gay in high school who's the really gay twink who you just know has a douche in his backpack, i.e. Chris Colfer. But then there's also that, unsuspecting football gay. Not to say you all are football players, I'm not saying it, but some of you are getting down in the locker room. I want to see both sides represented, basically, and they're giving me that. In other Glee news, the minority girl, not Amber, but the Spanish girl, Santana, otherwise known as Naya Rivera. Well, she's dating that boy Puck, who apparently I'm supposed to suspend my belief and believe is in high school, even though he's like, wrinkling about the neck and like, has a mustache and things of this nature. Whatever. I understand you're hot, you got the part, but really? Come on. So apparently they're dating. They're, getting it in. They're, when the trailer comes in, the trailer's rocking. Don't you come a knocking, because it's two, one high schooler and one, senior citizen, and they're getting in. Apparently they've been dating, which, don't shit where you eat. Sorry, I know, I'm crass. I know! I've been called crass. Anyway, so they're getting it in or whatever, and apparently he was Dippity Dog, Snoop Dogg, just going out and being like, I'm famous and I'm old, so I can get all these girls. Well, apparently, Nia was not having it, honey, so she acted like Blue Cantrell, and she went on a shopping spree, and on the way she grabbed Soy and Mia, and she bought some dog food, girl, and she bought some keys, and she bought some eggs, and she had her way with his car. She said, I'ma work your car over, girl. She tossed dog food and Alpo and things of this nature on that car, and he got all upset. And I'm like, first of all, you're both too young. Well, okay, she's too young to, have real problems, and you have too much money to have real problems. So this is really not that important. But, whatever, I understand you're upset about it. But just be glad it wasn't Amber Riley, that black girl, because she would have thrown a brick through your shit, just like I would have. I think you deserve more. Embarrassing me on TV and creeping and things of this nature. Old. Just old. You're old. Get a new car. Anyway, so that's happening. Speaking of dogs, Levi Johnston. I just have to take a moment. Levi Johnston is apparently running for mayor of Wasilla, or whatever, some Alaskan state, of Wasilla, which I think, Levi Johnston, I just can't. I literally don't even have the strength in me to deal with the fuckery that is you. Like, what? And I think it's hilarious because he's showing up all over the place, including the Kids' Choice Awards, which the fabulous Michael Buckley, shout out to my boy Michael Buckley. If you're not watching What the Buck, get into it, honey. Get into it, because he's fabulous. He was doing the red carpet, and he would, the highlight was him yelling, "What are you doing here?" to, Levi Johnston, which I agree, what are you doing here? But I, being the bitch that I am going to take it one step further and say, what are you doing here in life? Did the condom break? Condoms, that thing you don't use with the Alaskan whores that you knock up. Can we get this man a vasectomy? Sterilize him. I want his balls dipped into the hottest of boiling water. Get out of my life! Ugh, what a mess. So we have to move on. I know you guys are like, you can't do a celebrity gossip without talking about her. And that is Lindsay Lohan, who I'm not even calling Lindsay Lohan anymore. I am now going to call her Titanic. Honey, because she's wrecked. She's iceberg ahead. She's wrecked, girl. Now, let me back up. So, I honestly will say that everyone talks about Lindsay Lohan, but I honestly do kind of feel bad for her. I think that she is the product of Hollywood. I think that her parents didn't do their job in supporting and really protecting her because they were so worried about themselves getting ahead. And I really, think it was an injustice to her. So, I'm going to talk about her. I'm going to do that. But that's just because I have to. Hollywood hullabaloo. Anyway, so honey, lock up your liquor cabinets, rip up any rogue prescriptions you might have, because Lindsay's out, girl. She's walking the streets. Her nipples are out. It's a mess. And apparently there's all these stipulations on her release. She apparently has to go to therapy a few times a week, and she has to do 5 AA meetings, which is, girl, no time for drinking when you're doing that. And she has to do random drug testing, which I think is going to be very difficult considering her previous blood type was Jack Daniels. Lindsay Lohan, aka Titanic, I'm wishing you the best. Honey, you have skyrocketed to the top of my prayer list. It's Lindsay Lohan, number 1, Haiti, number 2. She's a wreck. Anyway, so that is going to conclude this week's Hollywood Hullabaloo. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, rate, comment, subscribe, tell your friends. Next up, be looking out for it, is going to be a new video of a segment called Dear Diva, where I'm going to be taking questions from you and giving you advice. If you guys want your questions, which are going to be anonymous, answered on Viva La David Show, please email vivaladavidshow@gmail.com. Thank you guys again for all the love and support, and until next time, remember, a hot mess is a beautiful thing. Bye, guys.